Swanzey Fire Department. This is Swanzey Now. Today we're going to talk about the West Swanzey Fire Station, Station 3. Station 1 is on South Road in East Swanzey. Station 2 is underneath Town Hall. Not a lot of people understand or know that we have a fire station under there. And this is Station 3 on Main Street in West Swanzey. So here we are at Station 3. This is the area where the guys keep their gear. A little bit smaller, but same general idea. Keep the gear up off the ground, in the air so it's dry, and in a good storage area so they know where all their equipment is when they need to come in for emergencies. When everybody comes in for a call, they come in through the main entrance, come in here, get their gear, out through the opening into the apparatus bay, get on the engine or the ladder truck, whichever vehicle is needed at the time. This is the upstairs office area, of which we would be in this part, the cool part of our new station drawings. This room, although it's a great spot to meet with customers that want to build things, we're not ADA compliant. We have a large stairwell that they have to get up. We have no elevator. In the new station, you'd be coming in off, this would be the Route 32 side. It's all one floor, all handicap accessible, wheelchair accessible. You'd be able to get in here, get into our offices. All of our warm zone, where you have your fire trucks. Firemen want to get in, they can come in off the back side of the building. That's where their parking area is going to be. They get to their gear room and off out to the trucks, and off they go to any calls. We have our gear area, so when the people come in from the back of the building, they come in to get their gear in the hot area. It's isolated. It should be all clean area as well for them. They can then grab their gear, get on the trucks. The trucks will be there's 3 drive-through bays. We may still just back in just for ease of getting the vehicles in, because we're not 100% sure of how we're going to lay out the vehicles. Typically they'll probably be tail to tail so that we can drive out either side in some instances. Some of the other items we have through here are decon areas for our EMS equipment. So we can clean all of our EMS stuff. We don't have to do it as we do it now in this building. We do it downstairs on the desk. The public walks into that area. We have to completely wipe down, decon that whole area when we're done as well. The items that we have to decon from are, your everyday cold. We're in talking, touching. We're always dealing with different people. Some of it's bloodborne stuff. Some of it's fluids you don't want to know about. So we're cleaning that item off, not only for your safety but for ours. It works both ways. We have to clean that equipment off for us. We have to clean it off for you. And then we have to clean it off for the next person that we're going to use this equipment with. So, secondly, we have firefighting decon area. We can clean our gear out on the apparatus bay for a gross decon of large chunks of items, debris, soot, carbon, whatever we have coming in from the fire. And then we're going to put a gear extractor in here, which will wash our gear. It works far better than any commercial washer. Right now, what we're utilizing to wash our gear is the same washer and dryer that you would use at home. Same washing machine. It doesn't work the best, but it's better than just hosing it off outside. We do hang the stuff in the bays so it air dries. And this room would give us a new gear extractor and a drying cabinet. It blows cool air around the gear and dries it at a faster rate. There's also a small locker room, so the guys and girls can have a small space to put extra clothes. So if they get contaminated or if they need to take a shower, they can have change of clothes, and leave the dirty stuff that they have there to be laundered and shower and change into leaving clean clothes. So they're not bringing any of this decontaminants back to their families. The gear extractor and the showering areas, they will have to go to a containment tank. They'll be tested to make sure that whether we can either have to have it pumped off and brought to a place to be cleaned, or if we can send it through normal sewerage. It's basically we're testing for contaminants of carcinogens, chemicals, that type of stuff. And again, we do roughly 1,000 calls a year. Well over 600 to 700 of them are medical calls. So we're in and out of a lot of these places, and we need to have these items clean and ready for any time. We're going to work our way into the into the office areas. What we have is a fire inspector's office, chief's office, a deputy, and our EMS coordinator. Each person plays a pretty vital role in keeping every day-to-day operations going. We do have another office area that's going to be utilized also as a communications room for the officers to be able to use for this station, and any other officers that need to get in there. It'll also be a report writing room that they can utilize. And these office spaces are going to bring together all the staff, if you will, day-to-day staff that run the fire department, and it gives office space available for the officers of this Station 2. We're not reducing any of the outstations, the Station 1 and the Station 3, because we need those. We're a 45 square mile area. We're still have to cover that, and they're not going to close. With this new station, it puts us in some key locations to cover all of Swanzey. A lot of Swanzey is starting to grow, and we need this accessibility between all three stations to get around, because we do have covered bridges, and we do need to get around those covered bridges and cover the rest of our town as well. Part of our 45 square mile coverage area, we have 5 boroughs. You've got North Swanzey, Swanzey Center, East Swanzey, West Swanzey, Westport. So we have to cover all of those 5 areas with 3 stations. And we work together as one unit, and I think we do a darn good job at it. We've been part of this process right from the start, meeting, interviewing architects, getting the right architect in building and designing of it. We've spoken with the fire department group multiple times. We've had numerous public meetings for every aspect of the size of this building. I think the size of this building is appropriate. I think it plans well for our future. It's going to last at least a good 50 years, hopefully longer. I anticipate it to be a lot longer than that, but a lot of people don't, they're not anticipating that length of time. So I think most of the firemen all have a great appreciation of this, and are for this new building, and are excited for this new building. Here's our ladder truck. Again, tight spaces. You know, we want to have adequate space for the new station when it's built, so that we don't have to worry about tight spots. This is the truck that the town approved in 2018 for us to purchase to replace our 30-year-old truck. This is a 2,000 gallon fire engine, holds 2,000 gallons of water, has a quick dump on the back of it. It's a 2-man cab. Here we are in Station 3 in West Swanzey. This is one of our primary medical vehicles. Gets us across the covered bridges. easier to get around town, to do any kind of medical calls. We have another one of these vehicles in East Swanzey at Station 1, and that affords us easier access all around town. Some of the better points of this station, it puts us again closer to two other boroughs here, West Swanzey and Westport. We have a medical vehicle that we can easily get across the covered bridge that we have right next door to us, and we have a ladder. The ladder truck is here. The guys take great pride in this station to use that ladder truck. So here's our ladder truck. It's 105 foot. It gets us to be able to get onto tighter spaces in roofs, easier access to chimney fires, better access, safer access. We decided to buy this truck, it was because of the height of the ladder. Gets us, it's 100 foot, it gets us to be able to park the truck in a safer spot, greater reach, and it's an ease of controls. The reason we're going to move this truck to the new station when it gets built is because of our room that we have it in now. We're only inches from the front door when we close it. And in the back of it, we've had to modify as much as we could the beam. So it's only within about a ½ inch of that beam. The floor goes up in the back, so we can't back it any further into the building. We're afforded just enough space. With that, this truck does all the same stuff that any other modern engine. This is called the Quint. Same firefighting apparatus in the back, SCBAs and such. This truck has a fire pump on it. It doubles as an engine as well. It holds 400 gallons of water, and this is why we bought the brand new engine 3 with the 2,000 gallons of water, was to complement this truck. Not anticipating building a new station at the time. But engine 3 will stay housed here, as we have a 3,000 gallon tanker at Station 2. In order for us to purchase new vehicles, we start off with our own CIP committee. So we have a group of gentlemen from all 3 stations. We get together. We know that through the town's capital improvement committee, they're allowing us to research and look into purchase of new vehicles. We have a schedule set out how to go about purchasing new vehicles and when they're going to age out. So a few years before that, we try to get together. We spec out a truck. It takes a long time to go through every bit, soup to nuts. We go through the motor, the transmission, the tires that are going to be on it, the space that we have, what it's going to fit into, and how it's going to fit in there, and how it's going to fit in to the user that we needed to work with. With all that, I've heard a lot of the rumors, however you want to call it. People are saying that the building that we're building is too big. I've heard it's going to cost too much. I believe that, I've worked with everybody on this as far as we've gone through it. The building is appropriate sized. I think that we've gone through and done our due diligence to find the right spaces, the right equipment that's going to fill these spaces to be the best for us in the best space that we can have. This new building will have better cleaning areas for the firemen that are here now. It's going to be far better for future firemen as they come in. We keep the carcinogens and the debris and dirt and everything else away from them, off of them, that we can clean off. So I believe that that's the best solution that we can have. With respects to the location of this fire station, it's in a great spot. It affords us ease of access to both North Swanzey, East Swanzey, Swanzey Center, and It's been 30 years. It's been discussed since the early 90s, and we've picked out numerous locations, and every time it's been brought up, it's just not available. The places have not been available. We finally got to a point where we bought a place to use. The voters have approved us to go forward and research and design this building, and this is what we're bringing forward to you. This is the best building that we could plan for. This is the end of Swanzey Now. I'd like to thank you all for coming around for this tour with me. I'd also like to thank Norm Swanzey, past chief. He did put a lot of this legwork in to get all these proposals to get done. He's helped purchase a lot of our new equipment and really brought together a great group of firemen. So with that, I'll say have a great day and get out there and vote.
So here we are at Swanzey Now. I'm Jody Turner and this is Michael Bramley. Thank you, Eric Mattson, for your tour of the West Swanzey Fire Station. I don't know if I saw it or not, but the stairway. I don't think I put that in the, I cut it out, I think. So anyway, what we did is we took a tour of the West Swanzey Station and learned a little bit more about some of the pros, some of the cons of the station, especially the ladder truck, getting that thing backed in.
A little bit tight in there.
You probably could not see how close it was, but there is a ½ an inch from the beam that the fire truck comes in and the ladder almost hits. If the tires are overinflated, it doesnn't fit in the station. So that's one of the things that is a positive of this new proposed fire station that you may have heard about in Swanzey Center. Now, is it North Swanzey or is it Swanzey Center that the station will actually be? Because it's right in between.
I guess it depends where you consider the line. I don't
is there
know
a
if the
line right there?
Safford Drive, or I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of Swanzey, Swanzey has 5 villages or boroughs, as Eric mentioned, but they're somewhat loosely defined. So you might know when you're in North or West or Westport, but some of those lines are somewhat open to interpretation.
Right.
So I think it's still in Swanzey Center. It's about a mile or mile and a half north of the existing station. I personally think of North Swanzey as kind of Safford Drive north, and this is a little ways south of Safford Drive.
Yeah,
so
I think I would look at it that way too, but it's hard to say. There's so many different things that come into the whole picture for that. Mm-hmm. So anyway, again, thank you, Eric, for going over some of those things. What I was talking about in the very beginning of the show is that when you walk into the West Swanzey Fire Department, there is the door and the entryway, but then in back of that is a set of stairs. It's probably 30 steps high. It's up to the 2nd floor, straight up. Yeah. And when they have people that come in that need to get permits or go over different things about their properties, that's pretty much where you go and talk, isn't it? And then if there's some of the offices are upstairs as well, so you have to go up those stairs to get there. In the new proposed building, everything is 1 floor, much easier to get to, and you guys have done a lot of thinking about all of this stuff.
Yeah, and in the existing station, if the firefighters are upstairs and a call comes in, they have to hustle down those stairs.
And there is no pole.
There is no pole in any of our fire stations.
Right. No. Yeah. So I mean, if you're rushing down those stairs, you got to take your time. I mean, be careful.
It's a somewhat of a risk.
Yeah. So. I mean, and that building was built in the 30s?
Yeah, I've heard 30s or 40s.
Yeah. So it's been around for a long time. It's just that the way that we look at things now, we don't do things just because you can. We do things because it's safe and healthy and better for us and the firefighters that are all going up there.
Yeah, and speaking of the different stations, I know you and Eric did a tour of the Swanzey Center Station number 2, which is the station that would be kind of replaced by the new station. The offices that are in West in that tour that Eric showed would be in the new station, but people should check out that video as well. Right.
And there's a lot of information on your town website.
Right.
So the website is www.swanzeynh.gov. And there's videos there, and you can watch other YouTube videos that we've done to explain a few things about the fire station, the budget hearing, the deliberation, and get out and vote March 10th. That's going to be really, really important for people to get out there and tell us what they think. Is it time? I think it is, but we'll have to wait and see.
Well, the voters did tell us at the 2019 town meeting to design a fire station at this property, so that's what we've done. As Eric mentioned, there were a number of meetings that we had with the public and members of the fire department to get their input at every step of the way. And so it's been great to get that input. So we didn't wait until the end and then ask people what they thought. We tried to get their input at every step.
Yeah.
So.
And so I think when you first started, you started out with a building that was 17,000 square feet.
Yes, the initial plan in 2015 that went before the voters was
Right.
about that size.
And so now where are we at?
A
Is it
little
around
over
10?
12,000.
12,000, okay. And yes, the cost is
9.5 million, so it's
Right.
be funded by a $3.5 million bond. That would be Article 3 on the town meeting warrant. So you mentioned the deliberative session coming up February 4th at the high school auditorium at 7 o'clock, and then the town vote March 10th at Christian Life Fellowship Church. So that's where that would be voted on. If it gets more than 60%, we'd be able to proceed. If not, either back to the drawing board and spend more time and money trying to develop a new plan, or take another path. So.
Right. So, Michael, I know we've talked about this on other shows, but what do you feel are maybe the top 3 benefits of having this new fire station when you look at it?
Well, it would provide a safe, clean, modern facility for our fire department, which is mostly on call. We do have 2 full-time employees and a few call employees, but they're largely only paid when they show up for a call. They're members of the community, and we think it's important to get them out of the basement of Town Hall and get them into a safe, clean station. It's a benefit to the Town Hall also. We get those diesel trucks out of the basement. Might allow some additional space for Town Hall use or other uses. That's 2. Third, the town gets to kind of move on a little bit, and this has been an issue since really the 1990s.
Right.
They've been looking at different options. It's been really kind of holding back in a lot of ways the town in terms of progress and how to resolve these issues. So I think it'd be a benefit just to be able to move on and work on other things.
Yeah. And one of the things that I talked with Eric about, I know that it wasn't on the show, but we want to attract people to want to be on our fire department. And there is a program through the Votech Center in Keene. Does it come into Swanzey and teach? I can't remember.
I think you're talking about the Cheshire Career Center, so it's
Yes.
part of, Monadnock does participate in that. So
do they have
they
to
would
go to
go there,
Keene?
I think,
Okay,
yes.
yeah. But what I was really impressed with is that if these students go there, they come out of the program with like a year behind them so that they can become firemen and they can help out in the EMT and they can really get going with their careers if that's something that they're interested in. So, that's one of the things that I think is really important too, is not just looking, yes, we really appreciate all of the firemen that we have, firemen and women that we have, but we need to encourage younger people or more people to get involved as well. And what I was told by Eric is that you have to be 18 in order to be on the fire department, and there's no age limit.
Imagine that. And we have had junior firefighters in the past too that are under 18 as a way to get started. So,
Right.
Folks are interested at any age, as you mentioned. We're always looking for recruits at any one of the stations. And that was a good correction that you mentioned, firefighters. We do have a lot of women on our department. We have a lot of young people on our department. So that's really exciting. And this new station would give dedicated space for women to have their separate area to take a shower after a call, clean their gear, and have, private space. So
Yeah.
we think that's important too.
It almost makes me want to join the fire department.
It's not too late.
I know. But, I'm sure that there's something that I could do to help out too. And just like anybody out there, I'm sure that there's something for everyone that can be participating in something like this. Or just get involved. Besides the fire department, which is very important, we've got a lot of things going on in Swanzey. And there's ways for people to get involved either as elected officials or on committees and things like that. So if you go to the website, again, it's www.swanzeynh.gov. There's lots of things that you can get involved with. And I just recently got involved with going to some of the selectmen meetings. But I think that it's very important because it's an education. And I know everybody gets busy. But even if you were to come to one every couple of months just to understand a little bit more about our town, that would be great. So, we don't have much time. We've got about a minute left, Michael. All I can say is, register to vote, get out and vote. And in the meantime, tell us what you think. Michael loves to have people email him and call him.
Absolutely.
But, it's really important to get involved with our town government because this is our future and this is the future of our children and grandchildren. And I just think that we need to think about that. And we're small, but we're not. We cover a large area, but we have a very small amount of people, in our community. We have around 7,000 or so, people that are out there. We need to get more than 100 or 200 or 500 people voting. How many people do we usually get?
I think it's usually around 1,000 for the town
1,000.
elections.
Can we get more?
Yes, we can.
That would be awesome. So again, the deliberative session is February 4th, and that is at Monadnock Regional High School.
Right.
And then the voting is March 10th at...
Christian Life Fellowship Church on Whitcomb Road.
Okay. We hope that we see you there. And this is Swanzey Now with Jody Turner and Michael Bramley. We'll see you soon.